Back in Week 13, the Texans lost their first game against the Titans. Can Tennessee finish the sweep? The answer comes your way next on EA Sports.
By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Titans set to take over behind their quarterback, Ryan Tannehill.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 21 carries, 111 for yards, and a touchdown.
And a rushing title's definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
These two teams, you may recall, they didn't play each other till late in the year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 13, and it was the visiting Titans who were victorious in that one, so now they'll look for the sweep here back home in Nashville. A first down carry for Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll be the call to the punt team as it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Texans taking over offensively, and it is, of course, Deshaun Watson who leads them out at quarterback.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
Gaskin again on 2nd down. And this Tennessee defense for the 2nd straight play gets him behind the line. They're not messing around. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
From the 50, it's Tannehill. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here's Brett Kern now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
There's so much to play for, and remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
The rushing numbers for Gaskin last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Now third down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Titans force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they were able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Texans football to start quarter 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. From the gun, here's Watson. It's caught by Hooper. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
A pretty good looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll get it down here to the 43. These two teams met in Nashville earlier in the year with the Titans coming away victorious. So a win here in Nashville would give them the season series. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And a short gain down to about the 33. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he is going to have a Texans 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And trying for Washington, but the pass intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Titans will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
After the interception, here's Tannehill. And this will be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Tannehill. And his throw is incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there. And he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
The Titans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Tannehill now to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And the Saints, they've now opened up a 2-touchdown lead. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. They'll run now with Gaskin, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Titan football. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Play action. It's Tannehill. His throw incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Now Tannehill. A check down here for Henry. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Gaskin. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. To throw is Watson. And this, incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Now Watson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Around the NFL, 2nd quarter down in Tampa. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tennessee offense set to go again. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw into the hands of Ferkser here. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Now, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way that's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a handoff to Henry. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game. Plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Back to throw, Watson. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw again on second down. Watson steps away to his left. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Watson. He's going to look deep for more. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. It certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Going back to Moore. This time he's got him complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. For the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the 3rd quarter. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the 3rd quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Here's Watson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 34-yard line. faking the give. Now Watson steps away. Space to run past the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. This is Gaskin on the carry. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Gaskin. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Titans defense will celebrate the goal line stand. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 3rd and 2, Tannehill. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They better be careful just getting it back to the 1-yard line. This defense, they're smelling safety right now.
And this isn't all about the offensive line. This is about everyone understanding you're trying to get away from your own goal line. And those guys on the other side of the ball, they're going to actually call it and try and get upfield and try and get a safety. They've got to be extremely careful.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move him off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down.
But when you do call quarterback sneak, you don't mind if your quarterback's a little bit on the vertically challenged side, do you? Because he's just going to hide behind his big guys up front and be able to surge forward and pick up the first down.
Watson on 1st down. Jeffrey Simmons able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From his goal line here, Watson buying time to his left. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This is brought in by Brown. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Partner took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 39-yard line. On the counter, it's Henry. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game. Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry. Down right around the 25. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. Now it's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Watson being chased out left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Second and 10.
Now it's Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Christian Fulton. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is. Maybe an important fourth quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Watson. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On first down, Watson. Dancing to his left. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. He's got a man. It's his fullback. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Watson. It's caught by Hooper. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Handoff as they run the counter play. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. They still got 2 timeouts. Got to start using them, don't they?
You absolutely have to. You save them for this situation, but you have to use them.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other. Quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the fourth, it's been an entertaining game considering just 2 field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now, or are we watching baseball? This feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Nice and tense on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line.
And now out comes Houston. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. First throw in OT for Watson. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But he tried to get rid of it. Pressure was coming right in his face, and it turned out to be a bad thing.
And it's so easy to be critical of him in that spot when you have all those people bearing down on you. Probably his last thought was just get rid of the ball. Give them what they want.